Hi everybody, I'm going to go over your 1.5B assignment today. So I'm going into the Unit 1 folder, and this is the same for both hybrid and virtual students. If it's not published yet, you will see it published by your time of class. So 1.5B, delivering a presentation, is what we're looking at. And you can see that that's coded as a discussion board, but it actually has a few other components, and I want to make sure that you understand them completely. So, as you see here, we have instructions to complete the interactive lesson called Giving a Presentation or Delivering Your Presentation. Okay, it's even clearly marked here that that will be linked below, and you will need to scroll down until you see the link. And oftentimes I find 7th graders are still asking, where is the link? So scroll down, it's going to be below the rubric. And what do you know? Right here, with this little square symbol, we have an interactive lesson, giving a presentation and delivering your presentation. So we have reached that time in Unit 1, which is all about communication, that we are going to start practicing public speaking and delivering presentations to a group. So once I go into this interactive piece, you may want to pop this outside of Schoology so that it takes up a bigger space on your screen. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that now. And you might just have better visibility by using your full screen. When I do that, sometimes it's a good idea to actually drop my zoom down to 90 or 80%, and I will explain that here in just a moment. So getting into this one, it doesn't look like there's anything other than a title here, so I'm going to press this arrow over here. Let's see if I can move my screencast over a little bit. Okay, and I'm not going to go through the whole presentation with you, but I am going to point out a few things that I want to make sure that you take a look at. So most of the slides are going to have some sort of text overlay here. Make sure that you read that carefully before closing it out. Sometimes students will jump and hit that close button right away, but you're missing the directions for this slide, which is telling you that you're going to watch a video about Blake persuading classmates to join the theater group, and then you are going to slide the bar to rate each of his items and then check to see if you match up with the expert's rating. So take the time to read this on each slide before you close it out. Okay, I'm not going to play the video for you. You will do that for yourself, and then of course you will slide on each of these scales to rate his focus on the audience, his hand movements, and enhancing his him speaking clearly at a moderate pace, and is he enthusiastic about his topic. And the reason that I'm recommending that you decrease the zoom down to 80 or 90% is so that you have the availability of these transitional slides down here at the bottom, which because I am screencasting, I don't think it's going to let me click that. So let me see. Okay, just a little adjustment there with my screencast, and then you can see I even had to scroll down, I guess maybe not too much in order to see that, but it does help that I have my zoom set at 80%. Okay, you will obviously complete this and check it before moving on. And so then when you get to slide 2, you see that very here we have this drop down or this text overlay, and you do want to make sure that you are reading that because it's directing you to view each segment of Valerie's presentation and respond to the questions. Okay, so for each of your slides here, it looks like we have 5 of them. Oops, sorry, that was for the Hope Center. I can get out of that now. It looks like we have 5 slides here, and like I said, I'm not going to run through all of them, but you want to make sure that you complete everything with quality. And this assignment is actually asking you to post on the discussion board or comment on the discussion board, what are your 3 most important things that you learned from the interactive lesson? So if it was me, I'd probably have a Post-it note or a piece of loose leaf paper or scratch paper or something nearby. Maybe I open a Google Doc, and I would start recording some of my takeaways as I'm completing the interactive lesson, because I think that will help me in writing my post, and I won't have to toggle back and forth as much. But find a method that works for you. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to take a look at the rubric, because this is an assessment discussion board. And this is now going to be your 3rd discussion board that you've completed in class. And we're going to be taking a look at some quality discussion posts and some less than quality discussion posts in class or on your virtual Zoom. So you should feel confident about completing this discussion board with quality. All right, so I do want to go through the rubric and break down each of these standards for you to ensure that you have an understanding of them. So the first criteria is worth 2 points: coming to the discussion prepared, having read or researched the material under study, explicitly draw on that preparation by referring to evidence on the topic, text, or issue to probe and reflect ideas under discussion. So there's a lot there. So what this one is basically getting at is, are you prepared? Have you read or researched the material under study? And in the case of this discussion board that you're doing today, here you go. This interactive lesson is the material that you're studying. You only have one source for this discussion board. So your comment of your top 3 most important things that you've learned should come directly from that interactive lesson. Even better is when you can cite that evidence to show that you are addressing the topic or the question at hand using the resource that you were given. So make sure that you are referencing that interactive activity. Okay, the second component on the rubric, also worth 2 points, is for posing questions that elicit elaboration and respond to others' questions and comments with relevant observations and ideas that bring the discussion back on topic. So this one is all about staying on topic and interacting with your classmates. So when it asks you to reply by liking comments that you agree, you have now gone over the fact that simply typing out, "I agree," period, does not show that you are using relevant observations and keeping the discussion on topic. You need to dig deeper. You need to say more. Expand upon somebody's thinking by adding some of your own new and unique thoughts. Respectfully disagree or pose a question. So just know that this standard starts by mentioning questions, but it also mentions commenting with relevant observations. So questions aren't necessarily required, but they are a great way to keep the conversation moving forward, and they give other people something to respond to as well. So try to include a question when you're commenting or replying. Okay. The next standard worth 1 point is acknowledging new information expressed by others when warranted and modifying your own views. So sometimes you will have the opportunity to change your mind about something or show that you have recognized that somebody else's thought is something new to you. So by acknowledging that somebody else has said something that you hadn't thought about before, you would be acknowledging new information and potentially modifying your own view by saying, like, "I didn't realize before, but now you've made me think that," and you can fill in that blank. Okay, also worth a point is following the rules for collegial discussions, tracking progress towards specific goals and deadlines for individual roles as needed. Here's the big thing with this one, guys. It's just remaining professional, remembering that this is not a social platform We shouldn't be playing around or making silly comments on here. We should always be staying on topic. Using proper grammar can help to show your professionalism, so keep that in mind. And just make sure that you are aware that this is an academic space and that you should be engaging in high-level quality academic discussions. So those are your 6 points that will go towards your discussion board assessment. Please be sure that you ask any clarifying questions of me in class or via email. I am happy to help you gain a better understanding. And remember, when you post your comment, to keep your work organized as well. So if you're posting your top 3 reasons, you may create a numbered list, a bulleted list, or a grammatically correct paragraph that discusses those. All right, guys, that does it for assignment 1.5b. Have a great rest of your day.